is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: the elements, state borders, ends in U, architecture, Truman Capote, and TV shows that bombed. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, you make the next selection as we continue. In a 2007 episode of this series, a terrorist detonated a low-yield suitcase nuke in Valencia, California. Player 1? Yeah. Correct. We return to you, Player 1. It's the number of states that border the Gulf of Mexico. The correct response is 5. You again, Player 1. Answer? Yeah! The Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. Player 1, give us a wager. Here is your clue. Delaware's southern border is with this state. Okay, that takes you down to... Here's the response we were looking for. Maryland. Player 1, you pick again, please. You'll find this state on Kansas's northern border. Let's hear it, Player 2. Where do we begin, Player 2? Of the Four Corners states, this is the southwestern one. It's Player 2. No, sorry. Anyone else? Yes, Player 1? Yes. Player 1, start us. You probably know what's on North Dakota's southern border. On its western border is this state. Okay, Player 1. Right. Select again. Both Roy Orbison and Linda Ronstadt sang about a blue one. Yes, Player 1? Good, you're out of the hole. Select again. An Eastern spiritual leader or a recognized leader in a field. Player 2. Nope. Sorry. Any other takers? Okay, Player 1. Good. Player 1, choose again. From the Old French for bundle, It's the bundle of clothing and linens a bride collects for her marriage. We're talking about a trousseau. Player 1, pick again. This world capital is located about 180 miles southeast of Miami. Yes, player 2. Right. Player 2, start us. These Bantu-speaking people make up the largest language group in the Republic of South Africa. Here's the response we were looking for. The Zulu. Player 2, choose again. Here's Kelly, she'll show you.
In an episode of this classic 60s series, bookworm Henry Bemis survives a nuclear war and finds a library, but then breaks his glasses.
Here's what we were looking for. The Twilight Zone. We return to you, player 2. This series, Peter Petrelli had visions that he would cause a nuclear holocaust in New York City. Here's what we were looking for. Heroes. Please pick again, player 2. In a 1977 episode of this sitcom, Detective Diedrich notes that a student's physics project is a functional nuke. Yes, player 3? Yeah! Good. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. The nuclear blast that caused chaos in Jericho, Kansas, was detonated in this state capital to the west. Player 1? You are correct. Player 1, where do we start? Because sound travels 2.7 times faster in this gas than in air, inhaling it makes your voice higher. Player 1? Yeah. Good. Player 1, back to you for our neon, argon, and radon are among these gases formerly called rare or inert. Yes, player 1? Woo! That's correct. We return to you, player 1. Superman knows its atomic number is 36. Yes, player 1? Right. We return to you, player 1. This very hard metal is named for the children of Uranus and Gaia. Okay, player 3. Good. All right, let's get back into this. Player 3 has Harold Kroto and others found this common element had a new molecular form, the fullerene. The correct response is carbon. Player 3, choose again. Architecture's Pritzker Prize Medal is based on designs by Louis Sullivan, father of this type of soaring building. Okay, player 1. That is correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1. The replacement for this New York City complex includes a 1,776-foot tall tower. Player 1. Good. Player 1, you pick again, please. Brutalism is a style originated by Le Corbusier that mainly uses big chunks of this material. It's player 2. Nope. Anyone else? Yes, player 1? Yes. Player 1, choose again. According to one grisly legend, this Tsar blinded the architects of Moscow's St. Basil's Cathedral. We're talking about Ivan the Terrible. Player 1, pick again. And here's Sarah.
This low wall around the edge of a castle roof was designed to protect soldiers from falling off.
Let's hear it, player 2. Right. Player 2, start us. Capote was born Truman Streckfus Persons, September 30th, 1924, in this southern U.S. city. It's player 1. Yeah. That is correct. Player 1, she's the lead character in Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's player 1. You are correct. Select again. He won an Oscar for playing Truman in Capote. Here's the correct response. Philip Seymour Hoffman. You again, player 1. Capote invites the world's greatest detectives to his house for a contest in this 1976 film spoof. Here's the correct response. Murder by death. And here's the $1,000 clue. Capote gained fame with this otherworldly 1948 novel about a teenager in a crumbling southern mansion. Let's hear it, player 3. Yeah! Right you are. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. World leaders. Rivers. Foreign words and phrases. Art and artists. Scientific American. And when they were in high school. Player 2, where do we start? In 1999, Thabo Mbeki, who fought to eliminate apartheid, became leader of this country. Player 3? Yeah. That's right. Way to go. Where do we begin, player 3? Hu Jintao became the General Secretary of the Communist Party in 2002 and leader of this country in 2003. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
That's correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player one. The name of this type of poem is from the Japanese for stanza. Okay, player one. Yes. Undercover cop Arnold Schwarzenegger taught it in a 1990 film. Yes, player two. That's it. Player two, start us. This telegraph inventor's notable portraits included those of the Marquis de Lafayette and William Cullen Bryant. Let's hear it, player three. That's it.
Yeah! Woo!
Player three, you start. Picasso painted this work as a protest against the bombing of a town in the Spanish Civil War. Okay, player two.
Yeah!
Right. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. Player two, you're in last place, so let's see if you can close player two. Give us a wager. All right, here's your clue. In her 1949 painting, Diego and I, Diego Rivera is depicted on her forehead. Congratulations, you've moved up to second place. Player two, back to you. Helen Frankenthaler's soak and stain technique was inspired by this artist's drip paintings. Let's hear it, player three. You are correct. Where do we begin, player three? One of his last paintings before his 1903 death in the South Pacific was a landscape of Brittany in winter. It's player two. That's right. Way to go. Player two, make a selection, please, as we continue. Scientific American reported on the founder type of these genetic changes. They happen in one person and affect millions of descendants. Okay, player three. Correct. Player three, where do we start? A March 2002 story was on this bacterial toxin, months after the first purposeful release in the United States. Player one? Right you are. Player one, you start. A medical aphorism, primum non nocere, is translated as, first of all, do know this. Here's what we were looking for. Harm. Player one, back to you. This Arabic salutation, often followed by alaykum, means peace. Yes, player one? Yes! You get to pick again, player one. Literally, blow of mercy. This French phrase is used for any decisive stroke. Yes, player two. Oh, sorry. Any other takers? Player one? Right you are. You again, player one. Candido Rondon found the River of Doubt, now the Rio Roosevelt, which flows in this country's Amazonas state. It's player one. You are correct. Player one. Pick again. British River, on which Oxford's great rival university is located. Yes, player one? Oh. No, sorry. Any other takers? Here's the response we were looking for. The Cam. You get to pick again, player one. GE acknowledges that in the 20th century it dumped PCBs into this river around Troy. Let's hear it, player two. Correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player two, you make the next selection as we... Answer? The second daily double. Player two, you are currently in last. What'll it be? The clue. It's fed by the Hasbani River in Lebanon and by the Banias in Syria. No. The correct response is the Jordan. Player two, pick again. Its upper part runs clear. It clouds up near Great Falls, Montana, and gets muddier from there. Yes, player two.
Aww.
Anyone else? Player three? Yes. Yeah! Player three, you start. He ran track at Skyline High in Oakland. Good practice for the role of Forrest Gump. Okay, player one. Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player one. As a teen in British Columbia, she said her goal was to be a California beach bum. She got her wish on Baywatch. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah! Hey, you're right. Select again. To make extra money, she sometimes cleaned out the tour bus for her mom Naomi and sister Winona. Okay, player one. Yep. You again, player one. As a high school basketball star in Irvington, New Jersey, this royal rapper led her team to 2 state championships. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Player one, you pick again, please. He played quarterback for the Terrell High School Tigers before he won an Oscar for playing Ray Charles. Yes, player one? Yes. Select again. An IPY, an international this year, kicked off in 2007 to study ice shelves and permafrost. Let's hear it, player three. Yes. Okay, let's get back into this. Player three, you make the next selection as we... Appropriately, he wrote the October 1994 story, The Search for Extraterrestrial Life. Here's the correct response. Carl Sagan. Player three, you pick again, please. Scientific American reported that millions of spam messages are generated by rogue software programs it called these. It's player one. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is bots. Player three, back to you. Here's Jimmy to start us off.
The country whose flag is seen here elected its first female chancellor in 2005.
Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. Okay, let's get back into this. Player one. In 2006, Stephen Harper of this country's Conservative Party became its prime minister. Okay, player three. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player one. Sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? It's player two. Hey, you're right. And now the $2,000 clue. In 2008, Tillman Thomas became Prime Minister of this Caribbean country invaded by the U.S. in 1983. We're talking about Grenada. I'll see you all for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Now, Final Jeopardy coming right up right now with this category. World authors. What are you going to wait? And the clue reads, in 1898 he wrote, "As for the persons I have accused, they are embodiments of social malfeasance."